killed in action, or EKIA, as I think I've said it before, which is weird, but over here they're saying that, oh, we're just killing terrorists, we're just killing enemies, that's it. But knowing that by now with these leaked documents that they're killing around innocent bystanders or innocent people, families that are targeted, they're just labeling me as enemies killed in action. So that's something that was of interest to me that I really wanted to get out there. Unfortunately, I don't really hear a lot of people talking about it. I mean, I'm not saying there's a conspiracy to not talk about it within libertarian circles, but it's just like, I mean, come on now. It's just, apparently there's this new whistleblower that just leaked this, and no one's really, or exposed this, and no one's really focusing on it. They're just focusing on, I don't know, just weird, random stuff. And I was just like, okay, you know what? Let me go try, on my page, let me go try spreading it to as many people as I can. Hopefully get the word out, and hopefully learn more about these.
Hey, it sounds like they have a new definition for enemy terrorists. It's anyone killed by a drone is now a terrorist.
Do we know anyone who's been killed? Do they list any names?
Apparently, there's a British citizen, I believe, a British or American citizen who was stripped of his right, or stripped of his citizenship before he got killed by a drone.
So that's convenient. Just it makes him not an American citizen, so they can go ahead and kill him.
Yeah, basically, it's just his name was Wally. It's a really hard name for it out.
He was the son of a high-ranking Al Qaeda member, though he wasn't affiliated personally with Al Qaeda, and he was killed by a drone.
Oh, I believe it was like a British citizen, not American citizen. This, I believe, the one I was talking about, the one is a British citizen who was stripped of his citizenship, and then afterwards got killed by a drone.
What's a citizen anyway? Hey, Joe. Looks like you're joining us now.
I believe it's a tax cow.
That's right.
It is a very hectic mess, to be honest. It's just like, Jesus Christ. Then afterwards, I found out about, apparently the Obama administration is saying that the way to target Al-Qaeda, like Al-Qaeda groups, is with drones, because that's the most efficient way. However, with these leaked documents, they're now showing that the U.S. military is, well, in fact, incapable of actually, they're incapable of targeting actual people, and they're just saying that, oh, what the hell, whatever. Is the thing on right now, or is it? Okay, thank goodness. I thought I got cut off for a second. But basically, the documents show that the U.S. military is relying on insufficient intelligence that is gathered by so-called host nations, which is like, well, for instance, Somalia and Yemen. So basically, their intelligence is very, very, very off.
So I want to get back to drones in a minute, but I wanted to take a break from drone talk to talk about you and your perspective on things. Where are you coming from politically? Before you came on the show, I asked you, and you said you identify as a classical liberal. What is a classical liberal?
Well, in my terms of a classical liberal, one would probably focus on, well, classical liberals focus on the rights of the individual. Basically, individualism is like highlighted within a classical liberal viewpoint, I would say, and we just focus on having a limited government that protects the individual and protects their rights, civil liberties, and everything. Having a government as limited as possible. However, I find that with, I guess, anarchist or voluntarist viewpoints, I believe, I'm not too certain, but I believe that they advocate like that everything can happen but without the existence of a state, because they say that a state is actually the biggest aggressor of our rights and civil liberties.
Well, I think they also emphasize that as anarchists, having solutions that aren't reliant on violence.
Yeah.
Ultimately, the state, of course, the only difference between the state and everyone else is they claim to be able to use violence. But there's not really anything different between the state and your average criminal who uses violence.
Yeah, that's what I've been told by various voluntarists or /anarchists. I don't know how to really label them properly because I'm still new to libertarianism because I just came out of the GOP like maybe a year or so ago, but didn't really get into libertarianism until afterwards when I was introduced to it. So I was like, now I'm learning like classical liberal, voluntarist, but voluntarist or anarchist.
You froze for a second. Back up. How were you introduced to libertarianism, Mark?
Through friends, and also the internet as well. Because, Oh lordy, because basically before I became a classical liberal / libertarian, I was a staunch GOP neocon.
Yeah.
It was horrible. It was like dark, horrible times for me.
Why is that? Is that because your family's from the grand old party?
Actually, my dad's side of the family is. My mother's side is not really too political, so I can't really comment on like what their viewpoints are. They're not really political, but my dad's side was mainly staunch GOP, blah, especially in Texas too, where a lot of it's a heavily dominated red state. So I used to intern for Greg Abbott, who's now the governor of Texas. Long story short, I did a block walk one time, and I came across his family, so I was like, okay, like, are you going to vote for Greg Abbott this year? Blah, 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 blah.
Wait, what's a block walk?
A block walk?
Yeah, what is that?
A block walk is where you basically, like, go to people's houses, and then you, like, knock on the door and be like, oh, hi, like, are you going to vote for so-and-so today? Or, yeah, it's that kind. So, like, there's this family I came across that was sitting outside in their garage. So I was saying, hey, it's just like, are you going to vote for Greg Abbott this year? Because at the time, like, he was running for governor. So, of course, they said, anybody Republican. So I was like, oh, okay, like, of course, you'll vote for Greg Abbott. So I asked him about the other GOP candidates, like Dan Patrick. Yeah, I asked him about Dan Patrick or Ken Paxton, and they just still kept saying, anybody Republican, anybody Republican. So I was thinking, like, oh, yeah, like, okay, basically, I would support anybody that is GOP without question. It sounded normal when I did it, but hearing it from someone else's mouth, that's when it sounded kind of like off. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean, and I think a lot of our listeners can relate. Hold that thought, Mark. We have to take a trip to the free market. We will be right back.
Yeah.
Words. This is our new outro music. Pretty good.
Can you guys hear me?
Hey, Joe!
Okay. I wasn't sure if you could hear me in the end, but I should be good now.
Cool.
So
Yeah,
it
you
sounds
sound good.
It sounds like you saw yourself in the mirror kind of when you were talking to these people and they said anyone Republican.
Yes, it was a horrible nightmare. Horrible.
I've done the same thing. I was a door knocker for political campaigns, and it was the Republicans, and it was even worse though here because, you know, I was in Massachusetts, so I was the minority.
So they hated you, Joe. They saw you as like the devil.
Right, exactly.
Oh my.
Maybe that made it more fun though. I don't know. Maybe I have to be like a contrarian. Like I can't have the main, you know.
It kind of feels like you're more right when you're going up against people who, you know, think you're wrong. Like, well, hey, you know, I got to convince you. You know, you guys are going the wrong direction. My way is the right way. See, the Republicans, they've got their heads on straight.
It was like that in Texas, or it's still like that in Texas. It's just if you're not a Republican, you're obviously a Democrat. If you're not a Democrat, you're obviously a Republican. There's like no middle ground in between. I fall in the middle ground. Well, I just discovered I fall in the middle ground. So whenever, like, say for instance, I criticize a Republican policies, people are just like, oh, like you're a Democrat, like commie liberal. I'm just like, whoa, wait a second, like.
Yeah, exactly. I posted some like rebuttal to a Bernie Sanders thing the other day, and
Yeah.
somebody's response was like, oh, well, I hope you're happy with the Trump presidency. I'm like, me telling you how economically illiterate Bernie Sanders is not an endorsement of Trump. Like, people are so...
To be fair, who wouldn't be happy with the Trump presidency?
I mean, I'm assuming the whole world would love it. That's what Donald Trump says, so...
Did you see that Rage Against the Machine actually predicted a Trump presidency 15 years ago in one of their music videos?
So did The Simpsons.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I saw that too.
Wait, the Simpsons one is even freakier, though, because there's a clip on The Simpsons of him going down an escalator, and so he does it, and he does the same hand thing, and somebody in the background is holding a sign, and they drop it in, like, the exact same way. It's actually, like, pretty fucking creepy. Like, the Simpsons creators might have traveled to the future, seen what actually happened, went back and written the
Or
episode.
maybe they're from the future, and they went back into the past to warn us.
Oh my god.
But it still came true.
What I question about Trump mainly is that what I obviously don't hear from his supporters is how, one, he was a staunch progressive, very, very staunch, and had previous ties to the Clintons, but all of a sudden now he's like a changed conservative, so that to me is a little fishy.
Yeah, it's called politics.
Yeah, he's a politician. Look, he had to be close to the Clintons because he wanted a license for his casinos in New York.
Yeah, he supported banning, I believe, assault weapons, and he supported universal health care. So I was just thinking, like, wait a second, like this guy is just too fishy. If one would, if, in my standards, like way too fishy.
Does
So I
anybody
was,
know if that People quote is true? I saw a quote from People magazine where Trump was like, "If I ever did run, it would be under a Republican because those guys are stupid enough to actually like vote for me or something."
yeah, I wasn't aware of that quote, but that's like kind of fishy now to think.
I'm not sure if it's true. I just seen it like on a meme, but I think all memes are true.
But yes, all
Especially the terrorist gay Mises quotes, or the
Oh, I love that.
Oh, gay terrorism memes or something.
the Austrian economics.
anti-gay memes on Facebook. Oh god, those are horrible.
No, this is a whole group dedicated to giving famous conservatives and libertarians and anarchists fake quotes, admitting that they're gay. It's great.
Oh god.
It's awesome.
Hoping I receive a really good quote out of this. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, we are coming back in 10 seconds. Here we go. This segment is 9 minutes long.
You can watch the LRN Studio
so
Cam and chat with other listeners anytime at
29
cam.lrn.fm. That's
over the end of the segment.
cam.lrn.fm.
Another breath of fresh air as we are not greeted with 90s techno.
Hello, Earth. Welcome back to the Jeffrey Tucker Show. Oh, sorry, this is Flaming Freedom. Welcome back to Flaming Freedom. We are joined with a new guest in Texas. You're from Texas, right?
Yes, sir, from San Antonio, Texas.
So we were talking about where you came from politically. Some people in the chat room said that they can relate, that they, they grew up conservative, and then just talking to other conservatives started to get a little bit afraid and said, wait a minute, I don't like this anymore. And you sought something new. You call yourself a classical liberal now, and you were introduced to that term through friends and through the internet. Are you getting your education on the internet?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
I
So
learned a lot over the past year, and I'm still learning, so I'm not saying that I'm perfect Patty, that I know everything about libertarianism and everything, because I'm new to the game. However, I love to learn, and I would love to learn more about voluntarists or paleoconservatives or classical liberals. More stances than them. I understand that there's classical liberals that don't obviously agree on everything, but I guess what we can mainly agree on is like the rights of the individual, like protecting them and having a limited government, as much of a limited government as possible in order to protect the people. But
So why do you want a limited government? Why don't you want the government to do things?
Why I don't want the government to do things? Basically, one, I don't trust them, and two, they're pretty incapable of doing.
So I think he's asking why, if you know that they're incapable of everything, why would you have them handle one of the most important things, which is security?
Security, I don't trust them with security either.
Well, then,
so what do you want the government to do? Your limited government, what does it do?
What does it do? Hopefully to protect the people's rights. But I can understand from a voluntarist viewpoint that they say that it's contradicting because the state is actually the biggest aggressor of the person's rights and civil liberties, which I guess I can agree with now. So it's just like, whoa. It's just like I never really thought of it that way until going deeper, or like somewhat deeper into voluntarist like viewpoints, of talking to some libertarians or voluntarists. Correct. I'm sorry. But they're saying that, well, we can't really rely on the government because one, the state is illegitimate.
Unlock this door with.
Oh, okay. Like fine. I can agree with some things on that. And who knows? Maybe I might turn into a voluntarist someday.
I was just gonna say, did we just watch you become an anarchist on screen? I think that's what just happened.
Maybe, I don't know.
How can if you can't trust them with all the most important things, how can you trust them to protect our liberties?
To be honest, it's just for the past couple of months, I was getting very, very weary of them to the point of where it's just like, you know what, maybe I could look into other sides and see what their point of views. And honestly, like as I mentioned earlier, I can agree, or I'm coming to agree with a lot of voluntarist viewpoints.
I think a lot of Republicans and a lot of people from the right are really big into the free market, right? Like, a lot of the things you argue against liberals about would be like, well, the free market is going to take care of these things.
Yeah.
I find a lot of conservatives that can't get their mind around the anarchist thing make the same arguments that the liberals make, and they say, well, how would that happen? You know, and they completely forget that they know a free market can solve these problems without having to know exactly how the free market would solve those problems. I don't know where all the things are mined to make my phone. I don't know how the plastic is poured. I don't know how it's put together. I don't know what the shipping routes are. I don't know, but I have a phone and I can use it. So that's something that the free market provided me without me being able to explain exactly how. And it's just interesting to me that a lot of conservatives and Republicans will completely do a 180 as soon as you talk about, you know, the police or the military and be like, well, a free market could never take care of that, when their argument essentially for their entire other political philosophy is that the free market is the only thing that can solve these problems.
Mm-hmm.
This is a perfect opportunity for me to plug the Gaynarchist for Scary Barbie Collectibles page.
Yay!
So if you're a queer anarchist, come join us in this closed group. Don't worry, we'll join you. There is an initiation, but we can't reveal what that is on the air.
Yeah.
Everyone is an admin. It's anarchy.
Okay.
It's anarchy once you're in. It's facebook.com/groups/gaynarchists.
Gainer. I've never heard of that term before. That's actually pretty cute. That's actually pretty cute, like pretty interesting viewpoint. So it's just like, oh, okay, like Gaynarchist. Or wait, Gaynarchist?
Gaynarchist.
Gaynarchist. Okay, Gaynarchist.
So,
I
let's go
hope I
back
remember.
These
I have a
homies.
very bad memory span, so it's just like, because like all these things are just jumping left and right to me, like all this information, and I'm just like, whoa, it's just like pretty interesting so far.
What's with these guys? Did we wrap up what's going on with their assassination complex? I mean, did Bush have something to do with this, or is it just Obama, or what do we know? What's the most important takeaways from what you read about the assassination program?
So far from what I've read, the Obama administration is covering up a lot of details regarding deaths happening in the Middle East currently, and saying one thing to us, saying, oh, hey, we're killing terrorists, when the documents show that we're not killing mainly terrorists. We're killing a whole bunch of innocent people, bystanders or families that are targeted, especially considering the fact that Obama has launched war against 7 nations illegally. What was it? Afghanistan, Somalia, Yemen, Pakistan, Iraq, Libya, and did I say Syria already or no? Well, if or so, then basically 7 countries.
You know who's next, too.
Iran.
That's right.
Ding, ding, ding. Oh, wait, where's my sound effect? I don't have one.
Hey, I can't wait to get in on this drone action. You see, the Department of Justice has now switched their focus from Al-Qaeda to domestic anti-government extremists.
And other people with despicable views. That's what he said, that anarchist and anti-government views are despicable.
Ghastly. Very ghastly.
So, what do your friends think when you tell them this stuff? You sort of express some frustration to me that people weren't listening. You know, do you have a hard time communicating these topics because they're just not important to other people?
That it's unfortunately kind of true, because when I explain these things, even on like my page and whatnot, to some people, like when it comes to, because I get some newcomers and whatnot, they'll just be like, oh, like, yeah, like what are you talking about? Like, what's all this information? So I try breaking it down as much as I can, especially without stuttering, even online right now. So I try breaking it down, and I try explaining them, but then sometimes, like, I guess some people might not care, or they might not really check it out, just be like, oh, okay, cool, and then they'll just fly by. So I'm just like, oh, thanks, gracias, muchos gracias. But especially when I talk to people, like, in person about, like, issues like such as this, they just look at me like I got 3 heads, to be honest. They're just like, huh?
Well, why aren't you talking to them about Justin Bieber?
Yeah, that'll get their attention.
I kind of like, well, at first, when he first came out, I was just like, he kind of looks like me, like kind of twinkish, like, But then when he got older, I was like, oh, like, how you doing?
Did you see his naked pictures?
No, I did not.
They're too blurry, but you can see some outlines and stuff.
All right.
Hi.
I'll check it out. Does Perez Hilton have those, or what?
Who?
Oh, yeah. Basically, people look at me like I got 3 heads, or just either that, or they call me a conspiracy theorist. So it's just like, oh, well, these are probably just, lies, and Snowden, NSA.
There's not a war in Yemen. silly.
Organic conspiracy. We're not killing people. We're just there to spread freedom. And I'm just like,
I'm afraid that's all the time we have today for you, Mark.
oh, well, so long.
Join us again sometime.
Bye,
We'll
Mark.
see you again.
Thank you.
Bye.
Why did you move to the Shire?
Yay! That was good. So we're on another commercial break, and I appreciate you joining us. Thank you.
No problem. Bye.
How long do we have?
See ya. We
Bye.
have 4 minutes.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, wasn't that great? So
Is your Pink
there's
Pistol
someone-
coming on?
no, the next guest I think is, let me see, let me check the little schedule. The next is Steven Zeiler show prep, and Leslie Ann Peterson and Tristan Finley Collins will be calling in after the next segment. I gotta give everyone on this list the Hangout link. Yeah, we got pretty good music, right? It's not bad.
Yeah.
I'm
One of them was a little intense.
the Pound the Alarm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted that to be at the end of the show. I put all of these in an order. Hopefully, well, Ian's not listening because it's a break, but I put them in order that I want them to appear in the show. And Pound the Alarm was like one of the last because it's like, hey, the alarm, it's over, you know. So that was not supposed to be the end of the first segment. All right. I have to give the link, the Hangout link, to the other guests on the show. I
Hey,
guess I'll
wanna
play
put us
some
back
ads.
on the, because we have this instead of our face.
No, we don't.
We don't.
No.
Oh, well,
This is us. This
okay.
is what's live right now. If I wanted to make it that image, I would do
Oh, I
that.
see. Never mind. That's crazy.
It's cool. So I got to go to Facebook.
Hey, Joe, did you get a haircut?
I did actually. It was probably about a week ago though.
Yeah, we asked him
I think-
last.
Yeah, I think I had it last week when I was on.
Did you get a week-long hair lengthening treatment?
Yes,
We
I
gotta
did.
talk about my hair, not the hair on my head. I got laser.
Not the hair on your butt crack.
You
either.
got lasered?
There is
Yeah.
none.
Oh my god, see, that's a subject I can get into. The whole waxing thing just sounds painful, but like laser, I'm interested in.
Yeah, way
Laser
better than
took.
wax.
It was no pain. It was so much faster than waxing. It's cheaper in the long.
And it's not going to grow back, right?
Well, it takes a few treatments, but yeah, eventually it doesn't grow back.
I've heard it was like more of a like elastic band feel
It does.
Like, it
it
didn't-
feels like an elastic
does.
band snapping on your.
on your butthole.
Yeah, it's not
That's
bad. We'll talk about it when we're on air. I don't. I
Alright,
can't.
Sorry,
gotta-
sorry.
Do I have this second?
Box, Facebook.lrn.fm to follow our Facebook page, and Twitter.lrn.fm to receive our tweets.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country.
Yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market, making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing to be able to move to a place where other people like passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State
Michael
Project
Dean
is
always makes
managing to
fun
do
of that
though,
ad.
is to
Dude,
put their money where their
because,
mouth is. It's physically
he's
getting
like-
up across the country and saying, let's
You tell me that guy's not gay? That's amazing.
kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Jump on it if you succeed and flown it. Don't believe it, just watch.
We can't let it play too long because YouTube will flag it. So we got to talk over this.
Hey!
So what's going on in this segment, Steven? You have some show notes for us.
Yeah,
Some
great
stuff to talk about.
news. Something that used to make me really depressed when I was a teenager has change. The world is changing very rapidly. And great news, the Boy Scouts of America, which formerly banned all gay leaders from participating in the Boy Scouts, has now allows gay leaders. So yeah.
So Big Gay Al can rejoin.
I need a... Oh, I don't have the kids yelling yay. Sorry, I'll try that again.
Yay! Gay leaders!
Yeah, so you can be a gay leader, and I think previously they assumed that, as is true, all gay men are child rapists. So, right, you with me on this one?
That was our best kept secret, Stephen.
Well, the Boy Scouts knew it all along. They were onto us, but they succumbed because they realized how much fun it is. And oh man, that's quite awful. But so
joking about child rape.
That wasn't a joke. So you can now be gay, though. I'm kind of glad, but also not really, that they allow some troops to opt out of gay leaders if they are run by a church that is opposed to that. So most likely my Boy Scout troop, which is run by the United Methodist Church, probably wouldn't allow me. I don't know. Also, interestingly, the Defense Secretary Robert Gates is the head of the Boy Scouts, which makes a lot of sense because they have to train up. It's a paramilitary organization, so they need to train up the newest batch of gay recruits for the military. Not happy about that, about them allowing gays to be in the military. Oh, but that was good news.
That is good news. I want the gays to be able to tie knots. They need to do bondage later. Or whenever.
Yeah,
that
my
was
knot
kind of my...
will actually help a lot with that.
I was kind of always my excuse for not buying the cookies from those kids. Like, I mean, I just didn't want to, but I feel bad, you know, so I like just ignore them. It's like, oh, like you hate gays. So now I have to like buy their cookies or not cookies, whatever the fuck Boy Scouts sell.
It's popcorn. What? It doesn't even
popcorn.
doesn't make any sense. The Girl Scouts make what I assume is trillions of dollars on Girl Scout cookie sales.
Well, why doesn't popcorn make sense?
Well, popcorn's gross compared to cookies.
Oh, well, also you don't have microwaves in the woods.
Well, it's not bagged popcorn. I think isn't it like tins? Isn't it like the Christmas tins?
Oh, they do have tins. Christmas tins are a popular selling item.
Ew.
And
then they got like the cheese kind, the buttered, and then the caramel kind.
They even have the Jiffy Pop where you put it in. It's like you put it over a fire and it'll pop, and all the ones on the bottom get burnt.
Yes.
Okay. So
sorry,
I've got more here, but Derek's distracting me.
Sorry, I'm looking for my kids yelling "yay." My drop. I'll find it on the next segment.
Oh yeah. So next thing, gay blood is coming to your body soon. You are soon going to be inseminated with gay blood. If you are in an accident, don't worry. I'm already full of gay blood, and so
it's perfectly safe.
Apparently,
now will this spread AIDS?
Fact.
It is guaranteed to spread AIDS because that's how you turn gay in the first place. You, the way you turn gay is by getting AIDS. All right, so 32 years ago, the FDA banned gays from donating blood. I'm guessing this was a big reaction during the AIDS epidemic of the 80s. And
which back then, when people didn't know what AIDS was and didn't know how people were getting it, that might have made sense. But they re-vote on it every 4 years, and ever since they've decided, yep, let's keep denying gay blood.
Yeah, you'd think they could just test the blood.
They do test the blood.
Right, of course they test the blood. So
those gays look happy. Look at them dancing. Woo!
I don't even know if they're gay, but they love blood. These are actually vampires in the picture. The gays are under the tent. The vampires on the street. So
I actually had a big discussion with a very liberal person about this once. He posted an article that was like complaining that the FDA was still banning people from gay people from giving blood. So of course I take that opportunity to shit on government, and I'm like, oh, this is why the FDA shouldn't be in charge of this. Then if you wanted gay blood, you could accept it, and if you and he immediately flips and loves the FDA, and somebody posts like, oh yeah, I want my visit to the hospital to be like visiting a mom and pop shop. which I didn't even mention. It's like, well, you do get better service generally
Wouldn't be
speaking.
so bad, right?
Yeah, they know your name.
I actually
Right.
usually go to mom and pop type hospitals instead of
Yeah.
Well,
But regardless, it was like, he still argued for this big central authority so that their decision is the decision. And it's been decades, and this has affected 300 million people that live in America. And one decision from the FDA affects all this crap. So I'm sitting here like, maybe it should be a public discourse thing. Like, if you don't want gay blood, don't get it, and vice versa. But I don't know. Was there more information on this article?
There's more information. Yeah. So
in a free market, like for blood, could you ask like, was this blood from a gay person? Like, nah, don't save my life. I don't want this blood. I'll wait for another person to give blood.
I'm sure you can have all kinds of stipulations.
I want blood from a sassy fat black woman.
It's gonna be extra. There's a premium for sassy blood. So 32 years ago it was banned. This year they are removing the ban, but only if you haven't had sex with a gay man in the last 12 months.
Oh, so celibate gays. So celibate gays can now give blood.
Or gays who just have a really hard time getting laid.
If you're recently gay and sexual, you can't give blood, but if you've been if you haven't been having sex, I'm sorry.
So they've replaced their arbitrary rule with a different arbitrary rule.
Yeah, that sounds a lot like the state to me.
So is this just in San Fran, or is this everywhere?
No, this is the FDA. This article is about the...
Who's that?
The FDA, it's the Food and Drug Asshole Group.
Right.
And so they usually shove food and forget about it. In San Francisco, the article says in San Francisco they were having a gay blood rally, gay blood donation.
Woo! Where
And
gays just were cutting themselves.
Yeah, the gays actually weren't allowed to donate blood because it's still illegal. But they had solidarity for the gays. They had a bunch of gays standing by watching people give blood.
I remember trying to give blood in high school, and I filled out that questionnaire. It says, have you had sex with a person of the same sex since 1972? And I was like, yes. And the woman pulled me aside like, hey, I don't know if the rest of your school knows this, but you can't give blood, because I was gay. And I didn't know that there was this stipulation. I was really disappointed, not so much that I couldn't give blood, but I didn't get a cookie or juice.
No, juice.
Everyone else got a cookie when they gave blood, but I had to just walk away empty-handed.
Mises Christ. All right. Well, in college when I was giving blood, I had the same questionnaire and I was aware, so I lied.
Oh,
and I saved 2 lives.
I just don't give blood. Fuck them. They don't want my blood. They don't get it.
Well,
you could just lie.
It's for
and
people
give
who
blood.
are dying, right? It's not for the government. So
yet one day they'll feed off of our blood.
One day.
That is what Taryn Lupo's book is about. One Nation Under Blood. Great book. Liberty author.
All right. So I love flying vehicles. And we have the next stage of flying vehicles coming to your door in Canada. Okay. So this guy, and I've been saying it for a long time, flying vehicles will be driven by tons of drones or tons of fans. Oh no. We're playing the video now.
We can save it for the next segment.
It's not that cool.
I want to see the...
All right, so this guy's got a bunch of propellers, and he's flying over some water. It is awesome. So welcome to the future.
Let's watch it.
We'll be right back with Flaming Freedom.
When we come back, we hoverboard into the future. Stay right there.
It reminds me of the Green Goblin.
Ross Ulbricht was convicted in early 2015 of running the infamous Silk Road
Someone in the chat room asked, are anal suppositories a pleasure or an inconvenience for gay men?
I've never had to take an anal suppository. Have you?
It depends on the time of week.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, if it's that time of the month, it just won't do. Oh, I didn't get to talk about my butt. I'll talk about it in
You
next segment.
you have plenty to talk about your butt.
I don't. Well, I'm afraid we're gonna run out of time.
This show is all about your butt.
Yeah,
I have some questions about your butt.
Okay. I will answer all questions, but not
questions.
during the break.
Yeah, I want to know the details on this laser thing because this could be a major change in my life.
It's great. It should be a change in everyone's life. I think everyone should do it. I'm a huge advocate. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that when we.
I'll take anything mode. If you convey specific interest in this
Speaking of
job at this company, you will be conspicuous. Thus, the value of going to school
Is it
with the
hard?
company
I'll
you're
take
applying
it.
to before the interview. With money and attention so tight
supposed
now,
to let the other
effective
guests know
communication
about
skills
the
have never been more
thing.
important. For more tips for job seekers and everyone else, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook. Imagine someone in your community getting in their car, turning on the radio, and hearing the Liberty Radio Network. You can make that vision a reality with your own micro radio station. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You can have LRN.FM running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local shows. Building a radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.FM comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
This is your Roberts & Roberts Brokerage
Where
Daily
are
Precious
we?
Metals Update. In early trading Thursday, gold is down $3 at $1,165 per ounce, and silver is up 5 cents at $15.81
That would've
per
been
ounce.
great.
is up.
Bitcoin is currently trading at $274 US.
Boom.
Check out our special on 1 ounce silver spiders. Perfect Halloween treat. And if you've been looking for silver eagles, we've lowered the price on those too. Give us a call today at 800-874-9760 or online at rrbi.co.
The three most important things you can do for LRN.FM are: 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.lrn.fm. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. It's my firm belief that the AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented groups. Support all your favorite organizations, but make sure you give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm.
Join Daryl W. Perry on Peace, Love, Liberty Radio as he brings you news, views, and opinions while promoting the ideas of peaceful interaction.
You blow up a hospital, you're in violation of international humanitarian law. You are in violation of the law of war. From the military, quote, every violation of the law of war is a war crime. And I've had people jump on me for saying that blowing up a hospital in Kunduz, Afghanistan, that was being operated by Doctors Without Borders. I've had people jump on me for saying that's a war crime. Wow, damn right it's a war crime. You blew up a hospital. I think every person, from the guy flying the airplane, to the guy that gave the order, to the guy above him, all the way up to Barack Obama,
Check.
need to be held
Leslie,
accountable.
can you hear me?
Check, I can hear you.
Excellent. How do I sound? Am I too loud?
No, you're good.
Can you give me a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You sound good. All right, here we go. We're going on air in 5, 4.
Cover our satellite costs with the chip-in on the right side of the page at lrn.fm.
I got a big fat ass.
Welcome back to Flaming Freedom. In this segment, we are going to be joined by some Pink Pistols. Let's talk about guns and fat asses. Leslie, which one do you have?
Both?
Yes, correct. That's the answer we wanted to hear. So what do you do with your fat ass and your guns? Hopefully you use them both together for peace.
For peace. I take them both down to the gun range once a month.
Okay, good. So what do you do at the gun range? Are you part of Pink Pistols, and what is that? And what's Tristan Finley Collins, right? Do you guys go together?
Tristan and I are both part of the Ashville chapter of Pink Pistols.
Oh, rad. Okay. Did you start this group, or were they around and you joined up?
Pink Pistols has been around since the early 2000s. They were started after a Salon article where I believe the guy's name is Jonathan Roche. He recommended that the problem to solving the issue of violence against the gay community is to arm the gay community.
Yeah.
He is correct.
Well, of course, because the only way to solve violence against any individual is to arm them.
So, how good a shot are you?
I'm actually a pretty good shot, but I'm not the best in the group. So.
That's what I would expect you to say. That's what an armed assassin would say. So,
I'm good. I'm not the best, so I practice.
So, how long have you been doing this? And is it like a part of your life now?
Joined Pink Pistols about a year ago, and it has actually become a very important part of my life and something that I really, really push for, really advocate for.
I get the impression it's like a really social thing. Like, it's not just about shooting guns. Do you guys go out for coffee and stuff?
We try to go out for a meal every time.
Okay. Run me through a typical meetup.
So
you bring about 25 guns with you.
No, my partner brings about. I'm sorry, guys. You have a huge delay.
Oh, okay. I get that a lot. So how many? Run me through a typical day.
So we meet at the range about once a month. Sorry, that delay is really bothering me. I can't do that.
Okay.
I have no
What's a
idea when
typical
you're
day
talking.
like? What delay? I mean, I don't know. We're seem to be having a pretty regular conversation. I don't know. What are you listening to? Do you have our program on screen or something?
Oh, yeah, that was probably it.
Oh yeah, you gotta turn us off.
You don't need that.
Okay, sorry guys.
It's
that
cool.
was all my technical issue.
No thing. You sound even better now too. So
Definitely.
whatever you did, keep doing that.
So we meet at the range once a month. There's a group of about 3 to 10 of us that meet up. We'll have some individuals who own more guns than others who bring extras so that everybody gets a chance to try things. My partner, one of his newest toys is a 44 mag Desert Eagle.
Whoa, sexy.
I know, right? So he's been bringing that and letting everybody try, and they get a huge kick out of shooting that.
No pun intended.
Pun may be intended.
Who brings the condoms?
Nobody. This is a very.
There's no protection.
There's ear and eye protection.
Fair enough for the people who enjoy that sort of thing. So, is there food?
We'll meet up at a restaurant afterwards. It's usually just group vote. The point of Pink Pistols is just to get that range time practice in and for education. So far, we haven't in this particular chapter been able to get enough people for a concealed carry class. We're in Asheville, North Carolina, but surprisingly, we cannot find enough gay people to want to shoot guns with us.
That is surprising. I would think both being in North Carolina, specifically Asheville, there'd be a lot of people who would want to shoot guns, gay or straight. I mean, I assume there are some straight people who are allies who join you.
There are, but they don't seem to stay very long.
Is that because every shoot breaks out into a orgy?
If only.
Or a duel.
A duel, right.
No duels yet. We've been very good.
You lose one member per week.
My partner and I did get called the token straight couple the first time we went, and we both had to just laugh out loud.
Because you guys aren't really straight, right?
No, neither of us are straight in any sense. So it was just really funny to get called the token straight couple.
Hey, you do a show, speaking of not being straight, you have another show that's similar to Flaming Freedom, Control Alt Love.
Well, I do guest host Control Alt Love. That is Lauren Rumpler's show. I have my own show called Talk Alt Love. I know they're very similar.
That's cool. What do you talk about?
I talk about alternative relationships, so poly, kink, and queer relationships.
How good are you at tying ropes?
I'm actually not really good at rope.
We need to cover that on Flaming Freedom. Steven and I have gotten pretty good at ropes. We know a couple of knots.
We're all right. We need to get some rope experts.
Well, there's a rope tying course happening right here in San Francisco this week, so maybe we could go on Friday.
I think I know somebody to connect you guys with.
Oh, really? Yeah?
Yeah, in San Francisco.
Sweet. Yeah, there's this cool place called the Citadel, and it's like a private club where lots of bondage and sex happens, and that's pretty cool. They do classes on occasion too. So this weekend there's supposed to be some classes there.
Nice.
I want to go.
Get in on that.
I know.
Are there a lot of gays in the Asheville area that don't want to shoot guns?
Yes, because you know this whole issue with if you're gay, you have to be Democrat. If you're Democrat, you have to not like guns.
Oh, that is true. We're all Democrats, right?
Yeah, because we're totally queer, so we have to be Democrats.
Yeah. Hillary for prison. So what do you have any conversations with these gay people who are like scared of guns? What do they say? You invite them out and they say no, I assume.
Invite them. Some of them will show up, or some of them will say that they're going to show up, and they never do. We get the reaction a lot of times that they're initially very much against us just because they see the word pistols and they see the gun logo and all that. Once we explain to them that we are a queer gun education group with the intent to teach the queer community to defensively conceal carry in order to minimize attacks against the queer community, they're all for us. But until we include them, like explicitly say, hey, it's for you, they're initially put off by the whole idea.
Do you have any instances to point to where a gay person actually did defend themselves with a gun? Like, have you met anybody in your group or anything like that?
There's nobody in the local Asheville group. If you go onto the Pink Pistols national group, you'll see a lot of news articles shared about that.
So there are like a lot of times when a gay person has defended themselves with a gun. I guess it doesn't have to necessarily be against a gay attack. You could just you could get attacked and just have to defend yourself. But
so the wonderful point of Pink Pistols is that we're very public, that we're teaching the queer community to conceal carry. So the benefit of this is through kind of like a herd immunity, is the general population doesn't know who's carrying, who's not. Excellent. So it's just the less number of attacks is what we're looking for.
Exactly. The point is that people shouldn't even have to get attacked for the gun to be useful. It never has to come out. Just the fact that criminals or would-be assaulters or know that some people are gonna shoot back. That's all it takes.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless,
I just want them to know that I'm carrying. That's all I want them to know.
Well, what about open carrying? Do you ever do that?
I do when I go to shows and events where I'm promoting Pink Pistols. I have taken the concealed carry class, but I haven't gone down to get the permit because you need a permit in North Carolina. Just because I moved recently and I haven't fulfilled that time period. Oh.
I'm always sad when I hear that there's a permit required. New Hampshire still requires a permit for concealed carry, and I was denied.
But how do they know?
Vermont and they wouldn't know, and they haven't known. Vermont and Maine, of course, no concealed carry is required. Hey, Leslee, thanks so much for joining us tonight on Flaming Freedom. People should check out your program, Talk Alt Love. And sometimes you talk on Control Alt Love, right?
Yes. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being on. We'll be right back with more Gaynarchy.
Hi, I'm Derrick J.
Hey, it's me.
Hi.
Activists' calling
You're
is
being
to
paid.
actively
You
work
must
to
listen
advance
to
a
this
cause.
ad. You
The
cannot
cause for
go.
which I work is personal freedom. I believe my
Me?
life is
I
best when I
understand.
engage in voluntary interactions and self-government. I reject the
It's a good
idea
one, though.
that anyone else has a
People
higher
use
claim
this
to my life
Starbucks
or my
line all the
body
time.
than I do. I see people who call themselves the government as a threat by personal freedom.
And Crypto Show uses
I
this
realize
song.
you may feel differently, but my relationship with the people who call themselves
hungry.
the government
What do
is
you mean?
completely
You already
involuntary. If Starbucks used
Do you
some
have
of its
more?
money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there.
Nah, I don't want to eat during
So
the
why
show.
would I
I'll eat
support the
something
American
after.
Empire?
Thank you, though.
The Empire does not require my consent.
Derrick J's Victimless Crime Spree.
Okay,
Watch
thank
it
you.
for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com.
Is this a long commercial break? Is this like the long one
Yeah,
or something?
This is the long one, so you have 7 minutes left.
Oh, I don't even have anything to do. Maybe I'll eat an apple or something.
Okay, yeah, just hang out with me. I'm chilling out. I'm gonna get our
All right, good.
I'm gonna get our new hosts or our new guests on. Oh, hey,
How's the chat room? I should check the chat room out.
Yeah, why aren't you signed into the chat room?
Because my computer kind of sucks. So I'll try to do it on my phone.
I'm sure it can handle text. So I shared this image earlier today. I said Chihuahuas are welfare queens.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And did you know there was a Chihuahuas for Liberty? It's a real.
What do you mean?
There's a Facebook group called Chihuahuas for Liberty.
But
yeah.
I don't understand. Do they just like Chihuahuas? Or the Chihuahuas want freedom?
They're Chihuahua activists. They love freedom so
The
much.
actual Chihuahuas want to be free?
Yeah, they don't wear leashes. Their owners are. It's mostly a Facebook group for anarchists who have Chihuahuas to post pictures of their Chihuahuas. So I posted that, tagged them, and one of the women who runs the group responded. She was like, "Oh, I haven't thought of Chihuahuas for Liberty in the longest time." So yeah, a real
Thanks,
thing.
Derek, for reminding us.
Chihuahuas for Liberty exists, and also Campaign for a Longer Leash, which is a much better organization, or not better but bigger. It's dogs demanding freedom. Beg your master. For
I love all the flags. That's so funny.
Yeah, it's great. All right, but back to serious business. I've got to get our co-hosts on.
Who's that?
It's going to be one of the Pink Pistols guys from Oakland. It's going to be all Pink Pistols from here on out.
Oh, cool.
Tune in at... Here, I'll put some out.
Fire into residential areas held by the other side. The overwhelming number of civilians killed in the war have been slain in Saudi airstrikes. The quick attribution of this incident to the Houthis is likely an effort by the Saudis to shift the narrative. Taiz is seen as a valuable target for both sides because, as Yemen's third largest city, it lies along the highway between the Houthi capital of Sana'a and the pro-Saudi capital of Aden. So far, neither side has been able to seize full control over the area. For over 5 years, Roberts & Roberts has been a trusted source for buying and selling your investment-grade precious metals. They also take...
Is nobody really participating in this chat room?
Removed the minimum purchase order for all...
I don't know. There were people on there earlier. I haven't
currency.
paid attention
Call
to it in a
Roberts &
few
Roberts today for knowledgeable advice
People
on
go in and
investing
out.
and a
Usually
forward-thinking
on
approach
breaks,
to new technologies. 850-478-5270 or online at rbi.co. FBI reports WikiLeaks on Wednesday posted files related to CIA Director John Brennan that may have been taken in a previously reported hack of his private email server. The anti-secrecy website posted the files, which purportedly include Brennan's lengthy security clearance application from 2008. However, it does not appear that anything classified was mined from the server. WikiLeaks, though, claimed that some of the documents contain details of Brennan's intelligence-related projects. The files posted Wednesday touch on multiple issues, including torture and Iran. It was not clear how WikiLeaks obtained the files, but they sound similar to the files a teenage hacker claimed to access on Brennan's private AOL account last week. The hacker also claimed that he had broken into a private server.
Hey, how's it going, Mark?
Chief Gage Johnson.
Going good. How's it going?
Great. We're on a commercial break right now for another 3 minutes, and so I just want to test your audio and video. Looks good. How do you sound? Can you count to 5 for me?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Crystal clear. Very good. Thank you so much, and thanks for making the time to join us tonight.
Oh, no problem.
How was your other show?
It was good. They didn't ambush me quite as much as I was expecting, so I was a little happy with that. Because they had a few questions, but not too bad.
Then you're ready to be ambushed.
Yes.
All right. I am just communicating with some of our other guests to let them know how to join in, and I'll be with you in just a couple of minutes.
Fee sought by the city to generate revenue, according to a lawsuit filed on Wednesday by the American Civil Liberties Union. The group said the Gulf Coast city, known for its casinos and
Hi, is this
and
Nicki?
beaches, locks up hundreds of indigent debtors each year
Hi,
for
how's it
days or
going?
weeks at a time without access to a court hearing or a lawyer, which is a violation of their
Taking a short little break here.
Yeah.
So I just saw the posting. You'd like to talk with someone from Pink Pistols. So here I am.
Great. Well, thank you for calling in, and I certainly appreciate hearing from you. I just got another guest on for this segment. I know you said you're taking a break for this period. I appreciate you making the time. Am I able to have you on in the next segment? Are you still going to be on a break?
What time?
8:20.
8:20. I'll call you back at 8:20.
Okay, that would be perfect. Great. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, appreciate it. Great. Okay, we've got 1 minute.
So how long is my segment?
It is a 9-minute segment that goes, or a 10-minute segment that goes from 6 after to 8:16, or well, I guess where you are 10:16.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, thank you.
I have a boy here, but he's in the other room. He's not really big into gun stuff.
No?
No, he's from Canada, so he's still not quite used to it.
Okay. Is he a visitor or is he a significant other?
He's my husband.
Oh, wow. All right. And you call him your boy?
Oh, yeah.
I like that. This show can get a little kinky, so feel free to let your freak flag fly.
Oh,
we've got 15 seconds. So.
Hi, I'm Joe, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Forgive me for not introducing you two. This is Joe, and joining us now is Steven.
News as this story progresses. This is the Onion News Network.
Welcome back to Roaming Freedom, hour number 2. I'm loving this new bumper music. So, of course, let's reintroduce. I'm Derrick J.
I am Stephen J.
I'm Joe Jarvis.
And now we've got a special guest. This is Pink Pistol Hour. We're going to have Pink Pistols coming out our asses by the end of this segment. First, joining us is Mark. He is from Michigan, and he's been on a run. He's been doing radio all evening talking about the Pink Pistols, and he made some time to join us tonight. So hello. Welcome, Mark.
Hello. I'm actually from Minnesota, but close.
Oh, sorry about that. I thought you were from Michigan. Where did I get that idea? Oh, because the radio show was based in Michigan?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, well, welcome. How's Minnesota for guns? Pretty good, right?
Yeah, pretty good. We recently just got suppressors legalized, so that was a good thing.
That's awesome.
And it's been going pretty good here.
I just read some news about suppressors that, like, nationally, they're looking to do away with the tax on those.
Yep, they're looking away because right now they're considered like the same as a machine gun, and now they're talking about making them the same as a regular firearm.
So
they look like the tax.
You said that your last interview was a little too easy for you. So tell us what you talked about there, and then tell us what you expected, so that we can go and get hard on you.
Well, it was just more of just talking about the organization and what we do, and some of our members and the makeup of our membership. And I was really expecting a lot more about the school shootings and that type of stuff. So it was more about the organization than about news events, which is okay with me.
So why are you in favor of school shootings?
Exactly.
How long have you been with Pink Pistols?
We actually we were an organization about 7 years ago, and I was involved for about 5 years, and then we shut down for a couple of years, and we just started back up a couple of years ago. So I've been probably about 10 years total.
So are you a trainer? Do you help the new gays learn how to hold guns?
Yeah, I am a certified instructor. I'm certified by the state as well as the NRA.
Do you work that into picking up guys at all, or is that?
It's not really a plus to most guys I've met. No.
Why do you think that is? I feel like this is going to be a recurring question for the rest of the hour. It's like, why are gays afraid of guns, Mark?
I think a lot of it is just politically.
Generally, or why do they seem to be, at least?
I think guns are such a conservative issue, and so many gays are afraid of being labeled as conservative. I mean, we had a booth at Pride, and we had people coming up to us saying, you know, you must be in favor of the war, you must have voted for Bush, you must be against Obama, and all this type of stuff. And our group is very diverse when it comes politically. You know, we've got a lot of diehard conservatives, we've got a lot of diehard liberals, we've got people in the middle. We're a real mix of everything.
Unfortunately, we kind of missed what you were saying there.
Sorry, I actually heard you. So that's good that you're a mix. I was just interested in, you know, how do you respond to these people that are coming up to you at these things? Like, is it like an accusatory way, like they think you're from some political organization, or?
We actually, a few years ago when we were at Pride, we actually had people thinking that we were like a plant from the Republican Party to try to get into Pride, which I thought was very amusing.
Did they ask you to like prove you were gay?
It's like, how many Republicans would want to be sponsoring a gay group? It was a very interesting mix.
Do you have any anarchists?
As far as?
Do you have any people that don't think you need a state at all, that are there, that are, you know?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right.
I mean, most of our guys are fairly mainstream politics. We don't have any of the real anarchist, real fringe.
Yeah. Interesting. So, tell us more about, you know, do you guys meet up like once a month, or that was what the last guest was saying, that they meet up once a month to shoot? And
we meet up probably about 9 times a year, 9 or 10 times a year, probably about every 6 weeks. And this Saturday we're meeting up. We're going out to the range. We shoot in the morning, then we usually go out for brunch. So, you know, I guess we are still kind of a gay group in the fact we go out brunching afterwards.
Like, how much of it is about the social connection and not about shooting?
I'd say probably 3/4 of it. We get a lot of people that actually, well, not a lot. We have a few people that actually will like text and say, hey, you know, are you guys done shooting? Where are you going for brunch? And they'll meet up with us afterwards to talk versus coming with to shoot. So, I mean, we have a segment that is much more social than gun-related.
You mentioned that your husband isn't so into guns. Is that difficult for you on a personal level?
He's getting into it a little bit. I mean, he is from Canada, so it's a much different gun culture there, or a much different culture in general. So, you know, he's not used to good guys having guns. It's always the bad guys have guns. And I've been slowly, I mean, he shoots with me some, but he's not as much into it as I am. But he's, like I said, he's only been here for a couple of years, so.
Well, that makes sense, but it's not like he's afraid to be in the home or anything, because you've got.
No. Oh no. He's become accustomed to them being around the house, and like I carry as well, so he's gotten used to that.
Have you ever needed to use a gun?
No.
Well, that's fortunate. What about anyone in your group?
We did have one member that was attacked, and he pulled his weapon, and it stopped the attack. And he called the police afterwards. But he was coming out of a gay bar, and he did something stupid. He took a shortcut through an alley versus going on the better lit sidewalk.
Oh no!
And a couple guys jumped out from behind a dumpster.
Damn! It's always that dark alley around the gay bars. Hey, what's the scene like in Minnesota? Is it pretty decent? Is it all right?
What's that? The gay scene?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're one of the largest gay areas in the Midwest. We have one of the largest prides in the country. We have quite a bit of activity around here. We've got a lot of bars and a lot of support community and a lot of support groups.
Can you open carry?
Yes.
Do you?
I'd say half the time. People usually don't notice because people always have phones and crap hanging off their belt. So if you have a gun hanging off your belt, a lot of people don't even notice it because they see it and they just go, "Oh, it must be his phone or whatever."
Or his comb.
Hey, one of the listeners in our chat room says, "Hey, guns aren't a conservative issue. Self-defense is a natural rights issue. I don't understand." What do you say to him?
Well, I do agree that you do have a right to defend yourself, and I think you should be able to use the tool that's most effective for you. Some people, some people call the gun the great equalizer, because if you're a grandma, you can fight off somebody that's big and strong. If you're if you're being attacked by multiple people, you have a much better chance of surviving or being able to defend yourself.
You have a favorite gun to shoot?
I like the Springfield Armory XDs. They're nice. I like them.
Yeah, they're pretty big. They're
Well, I use the subcompact.
Ah, okay.
That's also one of my carry weapons. So.
You have any with you?
Not handy. I didn't.
Oh, no. What if there's an attacker right now?
Yeah.
Well, to be fair,
hey,
I'm
Joe's
here,
got one.
I'm in California. All right, Joe. Joe will keep us all safe.
I can't really conceal this one though, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, if I would have known you wanted to see some, I would have brought out some of my guns that you can't have out there in California, which is most any of them. But
Most of them,
Most
yeah.
guns.
I was cracking up. Steven and I went shooting recently, and I had to rent one of the guns that I have at home, and I wasn't allowed to have the full magazine. They had limited magazines to limit them to 10 rounds.
Right.
Rounds.
Silly. No, 10 is the limit here. Yeah. Well, anyway, Mark, we're out of time. Thank you for joining us for this segment. I really appreciate it.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Would love to hear more about the Pink Pistols in Minnesota again sometime.
Thanks, Mark.
Let's check us out on Facebook, Pink Pistols Asheville.
Peace.
So you've signed the
And those bumpers are loud.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out. So we're on a commercial break, and we just went away. We've got new bumpers, so we're getting used to the music.
Okay.
But anyway, is there a Facebook? I heard you plug a Facebook group.
Yes, Pink Pistols TC.
I'll put that in our show notes so that I can include that for the listeners. Pink Pistols TC.
Yep.
Twin Cities.
Yep.
So this guy was leaving a bar and someone jumped him and he pulled out the gun and was like, "Hey, I've got a gun."
Right. Well, they jumped out and they had bats, and he pulled out his gun and they dropped their bats and ran.
Damn right.
There you go.
And then he called 911 and the police came and took his statement.
That would be the scariest part to me, calling the police.
Yeah, you have a gun on your person and you're calling the police? Ugh.
Well, we have a little over 200,000 permit holders, so the police have gotten fairly used to it now.
Okay, it might be a different story out here.
Hey, check you out. You're on the screen. You've got a nice professional microphone in that studio there.
That's the radio station I was at. Yep.
Cool. All right. Well, we will include that link in the show notes, and I'm going to get my next guest ready. So thank you so much for joining us, Mark. See you again.
Well, nice. We'll talk to you later.
In California.
Oh yeah.
Peace.
Yeah.
or radio affiliates, no worries. You can listen to LRN.FM from any phone, anywhere. Add this number to your phone.
Hey, there's some good news about
213-493.
Bitcoin. Someone in the chat room just posted Bitcoin is officially tax-free in Europe.
You know, I thought Bitcoin was always tax-free.
Yeah. No, I've been paying my tax all this time.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
So I shouldn't have told that woman, Nicki, 8:20 because that's when we officially go live.
Oh, and she's not here yet?
She's not here yet.
Is there any way
Have
for
you
you to
shot
communicate with her off air?
Yes. Let me try that.
You showed them the monkeys and the cat? The cats and the monkey?
No, I didn't. We'll come back with that. Let me pull that up. Joe, have you seen this adorable monkey and tiger babies video?
Yeah, I have seen that.
So cute. We're going to watch it again right now.
It is one of the
I love watching different like animal species get along. It's so fucking cute.
It's a factor when it comes to friends. In Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
We don't need that guy's voice. You have any podcasts? Or...
In Myrtle Beach, Carolina. Yes. Oh man, I want one of those kitties.
Dude, that orangutan's being like really good with them too.
I think that's their mom.
Did she adopt them?
No, she made them.
She birthed them?
Yes.
Yeah.
I got kicked out of the cold house,
Top
Joe.
blocker JP
What?
Mover Dr.
Yeah.
Taryn Lupo,
People wanna-
longtime political
people wanna
activist
ask about
Dennis
it. Maybe
Goddard,
we'll talk about
Church of
that
the
while we wait
Invisible
for this
Hand
woman to
Minister
call
Richard
back.
I want to know.
Drink the
and
Kool-Aid.
dozens more. Only 100 tickets are available in advance, so lock yours in now for just $60
So this
or
woman-
with
let me
Bitcoin.
look up some
That
info on
includes
her so I
access to
know
the
what I'm talking
Halloween
about.
costume dance party. Reserve your tickets now at keenvention.info. Visit
Hey, we're going.
keenvention.info
Hey, we're going to be
for more
live
speaker
next
announcements,
week from
or
New
look
Hampshire.
for our page
Yeah.
and event on Facebook.
Yeah,
That's
that's true.
keenvention.info.
We're going to do Reclaiming Freedom from New Hampshire.
Do you love
Oh, we're
Twitter?
back in 10.
Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM.
Is that part of Convention?
Receive our tweets
No,
at
it's before
twitter.lrn.fm.
Convention.
That's twitter.lrn.fm.
Everybody get up.
Hey, everybody get up. So what should we do first? I was kicked out of the cold house, or I waxed my butt. Oh no, we've got a caller. We'll take this. Hey,
hello, caller.
Hey, this is Nicki.
Hey, Nicki, thanks for calling in. So you're from Pink Pistols in San Jose, correct?
Correct. Yes, I am. I run the chapter down here.
And what's your story of coming to the Pink Pistols?
Well, my story is that basically I was going through a gender transition, gender change. I read about a group dealing with hate crimes, the Pink Pistols online. Interesting article. I saw that there was an inactive chapter in San Jose. I looked into the group and I said, well, hey, I've got guns. I'm more than happy to train people. So I stepped up, took over the chapter, and I've been running it since about 2006.
Cool. Hey, thank you for your service, Nicki.
No big. It's a lot of fun.
So what sort of options are available for people in the San Jose area to safely learn about and shoot firearms?
Well, we have several ranges. Ranges there's a couple of ranges that rent out firearms. There's instructors available. With my group, I work with the Santa Clara Rifle and Pistol Club. We have both an indoor range in South San Jose. That's a indoor range down by an ice rink in town. And they have an outdoor range down in the south part of the county. But I do predominantly most of our shooting at the indoor range. And the club, my group, we have reserve space where we have our monthly shoot on the third Sundays. We're moving it to the fourth Sundays starting in November. And the club itself has an outreach shoot that they run on the second Saturday, and we've been making it a co-event, so that way, we help them with their people, they help us with our people.
Can anyone participate, or is it all just gay people?
Anybody, basically. The only thing we ask is that, people are tolerant of others because we attract a very diverse group. that people follow are basically the first thing we go over, of course, is firearm safety, and then we go over range etiquette. And for the outreach shoot, members of the club are donating use of their guns. We're donating ammo. And we've got people to help people one-on-one, so you can at least get a little bit taste of when you fire your first firearm.
So how much money do you make with all of this?
How much money? I don't make money. It's not a business. It's a hobby.
How many of the people that come are first-time shooters?
Actually, quite a lot. For the outreach shoot, well, it's designed for new shooters and stuff. And then with my group, I'd probably say that about 20% of the people who show up for my shoots are new shooters.
Well done.
Do you have any tips for beginners? Maybe someone who hasn't shot a gun before, what they should know?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of tips. There's a lot of basics. First of all, if possible, find someone who you feel comfortable with to help mentor you, because when I first started shooting, I had nobody. I just kind of said, hey, I'd like to do it. So I went through a lot of trial and error. The first handgun that I ever purchased was a 357 Magnum.
Whoa!
And yeah,
yum.
So first thing I would say, first firearm I'd start off with would be a 22 caliber firearm, either a bolt-action 22 caliber rifle or either a semi-automatic or a revolver 22 caliber handgun. But it would be important to have someone to mentor you. It would be worthwhile taking a firearms course and stuff, so that way when you first pick up the firearm, you at least to get the basics, so that basically if you have some instruction, just don't pick up, you can go to a range, rent things out, but it helps if you have somebody guide you. It's like when you were a child, you were going to learn a bike. Well, most of us had our mom or dad or brother or sister teach us how to ride with training wheels. Let's have a similar concept.
Well, how much of a social aspect is there to the Pink Pistols in San Jose?
Oh, there's a big social aspect. That's why we run the shoots and stuff. I mean, we chit-chat. It's an open range. We have 5 shooting lanes and stuff, and we help each other out. We try each other's guns after the shoot and stuff. Time permitting, we go out and we chow down together. We've done other things. We've got to a few of us gotten together, gone to rock concerts and stuff. So it's a very social group.
Have there been any has there been any
we've gone out. Yeah, we're a very social group.
Sorry, Joe had a question for you. I'm not sure I heard him. Say it again,
No,
Joe.
I didn't. One question.
I was just asking if there was any love sparked from this group. Was there any two people fall in love shooting together, something like that? I want to hear a love story.
No, I haven't had anybody that I'm aware of that hooked up at our event. Sorry.
How big? How many people are in it?
Well, our shoots generally average about 8 to 12 people showing up at our events on average.
It's not bad.
What's your favorite gun to shoot?
Oh, depending on my mood, but I definitely have a preference for 1911 style 45 caliber handgun.
Yes.
And I have 8 of them, so it just depends on my mood. But I'm partial to my Colts.
Can you shoot all 8 at once?
No. I can shoot 2 at a time, but not 8. I'm not genetically gifted with 8 arms.
Fair enough. Maybe one day. Well,
I don't know. I'd be like a centipede.
In our remaining minute here, I want to know: are there any firearms issues that are important to you? I mean, do you delve into the political realm at all and fight for firearms freedoms, or is it strictly a hobby that you keep personal?
Oh, well, I'll work with people in the firearms community for firearms rights, absolutely, because my view is that, I support the whole Bill of Rights. And, I figure if we lose our Second Amendment rights and stuff, the rest of the Bill of Rights will go apart and stuff. firearms issues, the particular interest for the Pink Pistols, of course, is reforming of concealed carry legislation, for instance. Obviously, other things, we want to be able to buy guns. So, we want to be able to have places where we can buy guns. We want to have ability to shoot them so we can practice. And we want the ability to be able to get functional firearms. Bans on firearms, basically firearms bans are a big concern. Bans on common accessories, normal accessories for firearms. For instance, we're going to limit your firearm only carrying like 7 rounds of ammunition. Well, that's a problem because it starts affecting how effective my gun will be.
Well, we'll have to leave it there because we are out of time. But I want to thank you, Nicki, for joining us today. Thanks for making the time to share about Pink Pistols in San Jose.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Good night. Oh, that went nice.
Yeah, it's interesting. I forget how few anarchists there are out there. Everybody that's calling in is like a constitutionalist or like I forget.
Rights. She wants to protect the Bill of Rights.
No, I mean, yeah, that's a good starting point for people to come around. I think a lot of people come from there.
I come from monkeys.
Yeah, and I bet deep down, if they're confronted with the actual philosophy, they would be on the right side.
I need a silly song.
More kitties.
What do we need?
Spanish trumpets.
Yeah, that'll work. Okay, I gotta let our next guest know.
Dang, that orangutan is big.
Derrick, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. I can't see you guys because the thing. Somebody in the chat room suggested that you might not want to talk about why you got kicked out. There seems to be conspiracy theories abounding.
Oh yeah, because they're actually within listening distance of Gage. So if I talk about it, they could hear me.
Oh shit! So did that happen?
I thought that might have happened, but
he wasn't kicked out at all.
I kind of was.
Okay.
It just expired.
At least expired.
Did they like?
He didn't renew it.
Oh, they were like, how often does it expire?
Every day.
month.
Every day. You have to beg him for like another day there.
You have to write an essay and ask to be.
Oh, write the essay. Did you not write an essay?
I did. I wrote an essay and I sent it in early.
It was too early.
It was. I don't know what I did wrong, but hey. Here's the link. This guy asked, hey, maybe. Leave me alone. I'm trying to get our guests on.
I like it, but I don't.
I like it. I do like it. Just keep doing it. It's good. I'm trying to see. I think I nailed down a time with this guy.
Do you like my gun? It has a bayonet on it.
Yeah, can we see it again?
Bayonet?
Damn.
Right.
Let's see. Can we see the whole thing in frame?
Yeah.
Wow. That is a gun.
Instead of a bayonet, though,
It's kind of big, so it's hard to get it all, you know.
I want an Uzi and a sword.
Together?
What?
One in each hand.
And Steven says he wants an Uzi and a sword. I saw something similar to that earlier today. I'll see if I can find the image while we're waiting for our next guest.
Similar to an Uzi and a sword?
Yeah, it was a combination.
Oh wait, was it like hand? So I used to have something that was metal and it had a sword on the end and it had a handle, and metal came down to the elbow and strapped on.
So Joe, you were just talking about strap-ons.
Yeah, tell us about.
Yes, I didn't realize we were back on, but I was talking about my strap-on that actually was a sword that strapped onto my arm, and there was like a little handle and a piece of metal that went from your hand all the way down to your elbow where the strap went, like a Velcro strap with the sword extending, past the fist, like in a punching kind of motion. So that was pretty cool. And it would have been a really great zombie weapon.
And a very dangerous fetish.
Can we talk about my butt?
Yeah, let's talk about the lack of hair on Derrick's butt.
Yeah, it's gone because I went to a laser place this week, actually just yesterday. And I had heard, so I've been waxing. People know if you've been listening to Flaming Freedom for any amount of time, you've heard about our butt waxing parties. And they're great camaraderie building.
Derrick waxed my
events.
butt, and it was awful.
Yeah.
It was the worst. It was super painful, but...
Did you not use enough force? You didn't pull fast enough like a Band-Aid?
I think I just have a lot of learning.
No, it just hurts.
It's
wax.
also,
It's tearing hair out of your body.
It's going to hurt because it is taking hair from the root and pulling it out from every...
So lasers didn't hurt like that?
No, not at all. So let me just tell you a little bit about the laser thing, because I've been doing waxing for a while. I wax everywhere else. You can see I'm pretty hairless, and I like it that way. I want to stay that way. But waxing is so painful. It's pretty inexpensive, which is the reason why I chose to do it, because it's long lasting. It's pretty cheap. Gets good results, but man, is it painful, and it's not permanent. I mean, the hair comes back. Yeah, it comes back thinner and less frequently, but it does not. It doesn't go away forever. But I heard about laser. Of course, everyone has heard about it, but it sounded too insanely expensive for anyone, any normal person, to go and afford. But I looked around, and there are Groupons, and there's all kinds of incentives where, because this is a market-based procedure, there's not government insurance that covers this. The prices have gone way down in recent years. So I went to a salon where I could get any part of my body waxed or laser hair removed. And they fit me in within a day. They scheduled an appointment right away. I was able to consult with a doctor. And then I scheduled another appointment for an hour later. I just went to Starbucks, had a coffee, came back, and they lasered me. The whole session took 2 to 3 minutes, tops. It took no time at all. It was nothing. The pain was as slight as a rubber band hitting me. It was just nothing. And from the gun, the laser gun, there's also a little air spurt that dispenses a little bit of coolant to cool down the area that the laser is about to zap. So at the same time that you're getting zapped, you also get hit with a little bit of air spurt and some coolant. So it just cools down the whole area. It doesn't hurt at all. It took only 3 zaps on one side of my butthole.
Pew, pew, pew.
And then 3 zaps on the other side. And
was she spreading it apart? Was she spreading it? Okay.
Yeah, she grabbed my cheek. And also, it was kind of embarrassing, too, because I thought, with waxing, you sort of have to let the hair just grow. You have to have at least 4 weeks of growth. And I'm not saying I'm crazy hairy down there, but I've got hair there, and I want it removed. So it was embarrassing that she was like, yeah, you're supposed to be shaved. I didn't know this because the laser actually finds the follicle through the color of the hair. So, I'm really light skinned, so it's going to have an easy time finding dark hair. Even if you're shaved, because the laser zaps right down to the core, and it doesn't actually remove it. She said it's going to continue to grow for 2 weeks and then just fall out, basically. And then you go back every 5 weeks or 6 weeks, 7 weeks, every time, and then after like 7 or 9 times, the hair just never grows again. It's done.
Is it I know you're probably not this far yet, but is it going to be like smooth, or is it going to be
Yeah, it will
once
be.
the hair's
Right now, it feels pretty much just like shaven. And that was so. I was so embarrassed that like this woman had to shave my butt.
so she actually shaved it first.
Yeah, she was like, "Well, it has to be shaved," and I didn't know this because I had just made an appointment like an hour before. Went to Starbucks.
See, why don't
and-
they just give you more information when you do these things? I like somebody to just like give me an extra sentence of like, and by the way, shave your butthole before coming in.
Well, they did say that, but I didn't have an opportunity to, and they had razors.
Oh, okay.
They do this. This is like one of the services that they will offer. It comes with it. Like, hey, we need this area to be shaved. We'll shave it. So I wasn't able to do that, and it's not that easy to shave your butthole anyway. So I kind of need someone else to do it.
Now, how about does it hurt like now? Did it hurt afterwards a little bit? Like it was a little sore?
He said it was going to be itchy. I was a little nervous that it was going to be horrible. She was like, yes, but you can't itch it. Just take a Benadryl. It didn't itch at all. Like I felt a little bit of itchiness, but
you can't itch it?
Yeah, you can't. Like she said, you got to treat it like a sunburn. So like no having sex.
Put aloe on it?
I didn't put any aloe on it. No, but she did say put some moisturizer to lotion it up. And like it was, I'll just say it was only $95 and you got $10 off for checking in on Yelp. And if you schedule like 6 of these things in advance, you get 15% off of those 6
plus 3 free.
3 for free. So basically, for the price of 15% off of 6 of them, you get as many as you need to be hairless forever. And this works for any part of the body. It was only like $45 for your nipples, which is like nothing. Like who wants hair on their nipples? Nobody. And it's the same for men or women. For all the parts of your body. So I just think this is a great service that everyone should consider getting. The prices are low enough now that the average Joe can afford it. And check out Groupon. I saw things on Groupon where you got like 75% off. You were only spending like 25% of the whole price. So you could get your butt totally no more hair. And it only takes like less than a year. So you could have a new you a year from now for not that much money.
This kind of sounds like an infomercial, but you haven't like endorsed any particular place.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I was scared of doing laser. I've been doing waxing for years. And now I'm like, okay,
He hasn't endorsed a particular place because he's actually paid by the Laser Council, the Laser Removal Council. It's like milk. You see those ads for milk?
Yeah.
Milk.
Got laser.
I don't know about you, Joe, but like I hate having body hair.
Tomatoes.
Oh yeah. No, I'm excited for this.
Yeah, this is great. She did say the front would hurt a lot more. That if I was getting a Brazilian, it would hurt. And she said buy the cream. Like they have numbing cream that you can just put on first, and then when they laser you, you don't feel anything.
What about the taint? Did you do the taint?
No, I only did what's called the perianal region, which is just the slit of your butt crack. So
all the way up to the top of it?
Yeah. But
and
I
then
don't,
down. Okay.
I don't really have a lot of hair there anyway, so it was just pretty much the butthole area. And
Are you gonna get the taint done?
I'm gonna get everything done eventually. I want to be completely hairless everywhere.
Did she say anything about like the balls?
No, they didn't say that. I don't think they offer on the balls or on the dick at all. Like I think they don't go there. Most doctors who do laser still don't go there because they like perform a reproductive function, and like the laser might damage that. You don't want to even risk it.
Do they know if this do they know the laser doesn't cause cancer or something, or?
I don't know. It seems safe. I don't know.
Sorry, I didn't mean to be a downer on that. I was just wondering that.
Wouldn't it be more causing of cancer if it burnt? Like if there was carcinogizing effects?
It kind of does. It burns the hair. It zaps it. So the way it works is like your hair has cycles that it grows in. So the laser only works when it's in the growth phase. That's why you have to keep going back, because your hair is at different cycles at different times. So you want to make sure you zap it in the growth phase. This has been Butt Talk with Derrick. I hope you've enjoyed. When we come back, it's our final segment. We're going to talk about guns. Pink Pistols is back. And your butt.
So speaking of
If
Brazilians,
you have a business, you know that IT can be frustrating, but it doesn't.
Yes. You can turn it down too.
yeah, I can turn it down. So George Bush was in a meeting with his defense secretary and the whole chiefs of staff, and he said, "All right, give me the report on the deaths in Iraq." And they said, "Well, George, there were 5 American deaths and sadly 3 Brazilian deaths." And George Bush, having not reacted at all to American deaths, he was aghast at the 3 Brazilian deaths, and he was amazed, and he looked incredibly depressed. And they were all wondering what's going on with George. And then finally he looked over to the defense secretary and he said, remind me again, how many is a Brazilian?
Zing.
Nah.
Wait, I've got one for that.
They really liked it.
I love
Is
it.
that the chat room?
That's the studio audience. You can't see it because it's behind the camera.
Gotcha.
Yeah. About 250 people here.
That was a good talk about the laser. I'm glad we got into that because I was curious.
Now all your questions have been answered.
Yeah, except I guess ball hair is here to stay.
Yeah, well, you can wax your balls. We do that at the butt waxing parties.
Do your balls just like retreat for a time? It seems like a very traumatic event for the balls.
No, they don't retreat. What are you doing?
can find
Do you wanna watch this
Alexandra
during the next
Guru
segment?
No, I just wanna watch
working
it
away
right
in the
now.
shop amongst
Oh.
the clutter and the dirty dishes. And
Yeah,
the list of things he's
you have to
working on.
stretch out your
This is
sack
what you do
a
when
little
you
bit,
doodle?
so that you've got something to grab onto when you rip it.
The remaining part of the to-do list, and
You got to stretch
some
everything that
discussions
you're
both with
waxing.
modulation and engine.
What is all this?
I just want to see him
Some
ride the
fellows
thing.
work
Okay.
a dream. I'm
The video I saw was
I gotta.
just flying.
I'm gonna try and get our last guest on.
Well, he's not talking to you.
No, there's a different one.
So the control
Fine.
meters 5 times farther than the previous record.
This person.
Flight watched by over 6.5
Ooh,
million.
from San
people.
Francisco.
When you set the record, how did that feel?
That was an amazing day. It was. It felt like all these these years of work actually added up to something that's worth it. And I'm very happy that we got full coverage.
And you've heard from around the world.
Yeah.
But he's not slowing down. Well, it looks pretty cool. Modifications continue as he designs his highly secretive next generation. And today, near Sutton, Quebec, in the middle of cottage country, where his buddies are getting ready to throw a bit of a party,
help me turn.
He's doing yet another test flight. Mom and Dad, Dan and Nina are here. Every flight is an event. Is he
These guys
super smart or just a
said they
little
would
bit
call
crazy?
in, and they had
I
me
think
ask
it's
them all the questions in advance. And
what does Mom think?
we even did a hangout earlier
Oh,
today.
I suffer a lot because
I don't know.
I was worried.
Maybe
every
something
day.
came
Maybe
up.
they thought that was the show.
Maybe they were in a gunfight.
That is not made.
Hopefully.
3035. Van Dyke Mortgage is an equal housing lender. Charlie Sundstrom, NMLS 134251. If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
How about them hoverboards, huh? So a Canadian finally did it. Knew it would be the Canadians.
Don't responsibility. You don't want to take chances and give it footage with people that are losing like fingers and things
This
like
looks
that.
awesome. It's all
Even though
commodity
it would be really
hardware.
good footage, we totally agree.
I don't want that. It would spoil my story. Several hours of troubleshooting.
Whoa. Boom. Didn't he know that was going to happen? Why did he want to land in the water?
That's probably why he's over the water.
Yeah, but doesn't that ruin all the electronic
Several
components?
hours of troubleshooting and
I
soldering.
would want to land on a bunch of pillows.
And it's thumbs up.
Give me a bunch
Now a
of
crowd is gathered.
mattresses to land on.
Here we go. Here we go.
Ah, look at his pants are going up.
Whoa!
Clean
Oh man, that's so cool.
But it turns out flying over water was a good idea.
Boom.
Looks like it just ran out of energy.
Yeah, what was with that?
No, half of the machine didn't work.
Dad to the rescue and back to the drawing board. Not that he's ready to give up, far from it. Remember, this is just a prototype. While they straighten out a loose connection, Alexandru entertains the crowd.
Did you always want to fly?
Oh, yeah, it's been some time, yeah.
She's wearing bunny ears.
Yeah, is it like satisfying?
Oh,
Canada.
Totally. Actually, I just want to try it again right now. Yeah.
Hey, Nathan in
Mom
Texas is calling
not
in.
sure another flight.
Should we talk
is a
to
good
Nathan the
idea.
Ninja Squirrel?
Are you there?
This is it.
Yeah.
But
Hold on,
this
we're watching
time-
this hoverboard happen.
It's pure magic.
It's not magic. It's physics.
The magic of flight that
Wow.
has captured our imagination since Orville and Wilbur Wright.
Yeah. Could you imagine how they would react to this?
Man,
Now
I could
unleashed in its
imagine
simplest
taking
form
this to
by
work.
the imagination and intelligence
Just to zip
of
over.
this young Canadian inventor.
Boom. So he doesn't mind landing in the water.
No, it looks
apparently.
like it's
Since I'm
waterproof.
getting on that thing, he really is nuts.
Well, it's your turn now.
I don't know. That's probably got a weight restriction.
It does, it does.
Yeah.
Yes, you are a fat ass.
Red Sharon, CBC News, safe on the ground near Sutton, Quebec.
Safe on the ground. Ah ha ha. Oh, Canada.
Cool.
What a sense of humor.
I want one of those.
No kidding.
Was he controlling it by leaning? Was he just leaning forward to steer?
It looks like he has a thing on his hip that's controlling it.
Yeah, I think he's got something in his hand.
Though you see those guys with the feet things where they just lean and it goes wherever they want.
Yeah, those are everywhere in San Francisco. Do you see those? They're like little, they're not hoverboards, but they are like segways without a stick.
They've
So
got
you
those,
just
and then they've got
lean.
the electronic skateboards that you control with your hand.
So Nate, the Ninja Squirrel, has a gun range story for us, since our Pink Pistol friends won't call in.
Was it a gay gun range?
Yeah. Did you turn gay at this range?
I didn't ask, but I did go with a couple guys. So you know, it was pretty fun. It was my first time at a range, maybe second time, I forget. But we went there and we sort of went through the procedures. It was actually a lot easier than I thought it would be. I'm in Florida right now, and there was no paperwork to fill out. You sort of went in and, you know, you write down your address or whatever on the form, and then you get your targets and whatnot, and you go out there and you go shooting.
Is that all you got for us?
This is how a bozo gets to work.
I was trying to figure out, was that the studio audience that was responding there?
Yeah, they loved it. Do you have another one?
Well, we was that Onion article? NRA convention also strangely full of homoeroticism, something like that.
What? Did you send me this link? I have not seen this.
No, this was like an Onion story from years ago. It was like this is here Jim from the Gun Association. You know, it was like he stroked the long arrow with his rifle. He admired Chinese finish or whatever. This thing will send a man straight to heaven.
Maybe you can help us out, because you're all into the R versus K thing. How do the bears, which are the libertarians, talk to the wolves and the rabbits, which are the conservatives and liberals, respectively, about gun freedom? Because it sounded like we were sort of talking past each other a little bit, like the conservatives, the conservative gays who were calling in, like, I don't know, Joe asked a question about, do you have any anarchists? And the guy was like, no. We don't have any of those fringe anarchists.
Fringe.
How do we...
As in 50% of the populace.
Well, I did have a thought that Joe was talking earlier. He said something about, I forget, Joe said that, well, they're all about freedom, but then all of a sudden you bring up the military and then they're into that. Or was it something like that, Joe?
Yeah, I think I was saying that that if you believe in the free market, why would they excuse the military from that same competition?
Well, I thought when you said that, I thought of R versus K, because the only real difference between the bears and the wolves and the R-K model is that the bears aren't really into the in-group group loyalty thing, and whereas the wolves, I don't know if you know this, but wolves are very hierarchical. Like from birth, like the pups are fighting with each other. They're going at each other and nipping each other's legs and establishing a dominance hierarchy, essentially.
And the wolves are the conservatives, right?
Right. And of course, the reason they do this is so that the alpha wolf is the only one, because the only one wolf gets to mate every season. So they do this to establish who the alpha wolf is, who gets to mate, and the alpha female too, I think, something like that. So basically, I mean, I thought that there's sort of nothing you can do there, because from the conservative perspective, it's like, oh, I got to be loyal to my group. We got to, be a tribe and take on the other wolf packs or whatever. Whereas you're the bear and, you're living in your bear cave and you're like, hey, man, just be free. Like, why you want to worry about all that stuff? So,
and don't
I like that. So we need,
in some ways. I'm sorry?
Seems like a lot of wolves have become bears, though. It's easier. I guess it's easier to become a bear from a wolf than a rabbit. Is that what the liberals are? Bunnies?
Yeah. Liberals are bunnies.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a good metaphor for bunnies that are living with wolves. I was thinking if you're a bear living with rabbits, you're like a teddy bear or something like that.
Do bears eat rabbits? I suppose they would probably.
They'll eat it. They'll eat anything that they want to when they're hungry, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I feel kind of pessimistic sometimes reading this RK stuff, because when you're talking about psychology, it's like, how can a wolf convince a rabbit that they should do things that only wolves do? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Has reading this book about R versus K selection theory ruined your of dating?
You mean dating versus you mean like dating someone who has the same political beliefs, or?
Well, it seems like you're always going to view the world through this lens. Once you know this piece of information, it's going to color everything you do, especially dating, because it has everything to do with mating and genes. So, I mean, has this ruined your dating life?
Good point. I hadn't thought about that. Well, you see, the thing is, it's hard to apply it to individuals. It's really like, I mean, imagine like there's two poles, like the North Pole and the South Pole, and everyone is kind of at a certain distance from those two poles. Maybe like the bears are like living in caves, the equator or something. So, I mean, it's hard to really classify an individual as an R versus a K. I mean, sometimes you can. Like if Jack Spirko would be he'd be the bear, I guess.
The Freedom Podcast, Survival Podcast.
Oh yeah, I'm just trying to think of names off the top of my head, like your typical conservative gun nut.
What about
or whatever
Mark Edge and Ian Freeman?
I'm sorry?
Mark Edge, Ian Freeman, what are they?
Eagles.
Well, I mean, they'd all be bears, because they're not, like, for example, Ian would be an R, except that he believes in competition and freedom, and that's not what R is like.
And he got snipped.
The government should redistribute everything,
Right.
And then Mark would be the same way, because of, it's just libertarians are like this minority strategy that depends on population density, which is what I was reading, because basically the post that AC did the other day, I know it's getting really off topic here, but it was about how libertarians are a result of low population density.
Well, thank you for calling in, Nate the Ninja Squirrel. We always appreciate what you have to say about R versus K selection theory.
And join us next week live from New Hampshire, we have the non-hairy Butcho. Claiming freedom. I think we'll be in Manchester, trying to find a studio.
Joe Jarvis, Anarchy in New England.
Yes, thank you for having me on.
I'm Steven Zeiler and Derrick J.
Keenvention is coming up.
We got
fast.
it in. We got it all in. Good job, everyone. Hey,
Yay,
Joe.
fun.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for making this.
Absolutely.
Thanks for making this so fun. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thanks for always having me. I like to come on and have fun.
Would you join us next week when we do
Yeah.
our New Hampshire show?
Yeah, I should be able to. You mean in person or in over the webzors?
Well, you're not coming for
No, I know. I'm probably just gonna be there Saturday night.
Yeah, just Saturday. So yeah, just join us on the webzors.
Yeah, that'll be
See you
fun.
there.
All
On the
right,
internet.
cool.
It's great to hang out with you, Joe.
I know it's like a weekly thing now. I like get to hang out with you guys. So much fun.
I love it. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
joking that you're our Robin Quivers.
Who's that?
That's,
Howard Stern's.
Oh yeah, I feel like I am. I agree.
Good.
Joe Quiver.
Bye.
Bye.